Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hobb. It is Sunday, April 12th, 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to this podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahobb.com. It's all about my work and all about my upcoming events. A lot of my work is available through Zoom and some through telephone, as well as in person in New Jersey. So don't stop yourself from booking if you're not in the immediate area. And if ever you have any questions, feel free to email me at serenityharbor@verizon.net. If you're joining me today on YouTube, thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm also on other platforms, Spotify, I know I'm on, iHeart, and wherever you're listening from. Thank you. If you can follow and like, I would be so very grateful. I'm also on Instagram if you'd like to follow me on social media under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hobb, on Facebook under my business page Lisa M. Hobb, Spiritual Coach and Medium. I'm on TikTok, but I don't post there enough yet, but please go and find me there at Lisa M. Hobb. Thank you. So today's topic: why more people? Oh, and I want to say thank you to those who listen every week. I didn't forget you. I apologize. Just went right into the topic. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially your comments, your engagement. Please keep engaging. And if you ever, anyone new or who listen every week, have an idea for a topic, please let me know. I would appreciate it. And I will. If I don't know, I learn. Because it's very important. I like to learn something new, especially every day. All right, now on to today's topic: why more people are turning towards faith right now. Yes. Have you noticed it? Have you noticed it within yourself? I've noticed it. I also noticed I'm a magnet to it, meaning that the people that are around me now are ones that really are about faith-based Christian teachings. And so they are bringing out, not all, but there are a lot of posting Bible verses and living by it. Not just posting Bible verses, but living by the teachings, studying them. And I, the other day, actually received a very large, it's like War and Peace book, a study Bible that isn't just about one background, not just the St. James, but all the backgrounds, and to not only provide a Bible verse or to each, not to cover all the Bible, the Old, the New, the Acts, all of that, but to give clarity about what the verses could mean, because I intuitively tend to study and discern things. But if you were to go into a faith-based setting, you might hear a different understanding of a scripture verse than you do in another one. We tend to put our own meaning to things sometimes, and so, especially in this way. So I did it because I'm also drawn in that way of spiritual increase, faith increase. If you listened last week to my podcast on Easter Sunday, I spoke about a renewed relationship with Jesus, and Jesus as a master teacher. I was raised Catholic, and I have no judgment on this. I was just informing you that I was raised Catholic, and to the understanding that Jesus is the Son of God. As a very, very, very small child, I always saw him more as a teacher, a master teacher. But I never, at 6 years old, debated whether or not he was the Son of God. I always just saw him as a loving teacher that guided me, appeared to me, appeared in church, appeared in my, in very realistic visions. And so I was requested by his mother, the Blessed Mother Mary, to reconnect with him in a new way. And I have, or in a stronger way again. And it's been wonderful. And the positive of that, the overflow of that will be coming out in my podcast, because he's a teacher. And there is a possibility, and I'm double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking on it, but I've been a bit inspired to actually, yes, share what he says more in an actual channeling. And I think that's part of it's not why he's on this earth right now, but he's on this earth. He's around this earth and still being, as always, that master teacher. So there is something happening right now, and you can feel it, perhaps feel it within yourself or see it on the outside like I have, about those that have come around me. And even my clients have requested, could you go more faith-based with some offerings? And I had already started. So I was like, yeah, stay tuned. So more and more people nowadays are searching. And not necessarily for religion, but for something deeper, something real, something that actually connects. And you're one of them, or you wouldn't be listening. Really? True. And we're seeing people step away from rigid structures and at the same time step toward faith, toward prayer, toward meditation, toward stillness, toward something greater than themselves. Again, I bet you're one of them. And it's not just within Christianity. It's across the board. People are awakening to a relationship with what many call Source, or God, or the divine, the I am. And I'm going to remind you again, because I think I've said this in a previous podcast, but if I didn't, I tell you first today. God calls God Source, okay? But God doesn't mind what you call God. Just loves you call God, okay? So keep that in mind. But Source is whatever you want to call it. It's Source no matter what. It can be Yahweh, Allah, Allah. If I'm not saying that right, I am corrected. Forgive me. God, divine, universe. I am. I am is what was given at Mount Sinai to Moses. There's no one way to call God. There's not one thing to call God. It is whatever you feel comfortable calling God. So what is this happening? Why now? Well, it's my belief, my knowing is because of the shift in consciousness. Heaven is coming to earth. We are in 3D, moving into 4-dimension, which is kind of like the transition from the material world into the more quantum energy world of the 4th dimension. And the 5th dimension is even higher consciousness. It is when, well, more especially, we're going to have peace. Probably have peace entirely, communion with each other, the serving of each other, heart connected to soul, heart and soul living, freedom, I'm being told to say. And I just had a client, I just asked them, what do you want most? Freedom. I want freedom. So it's what we are wanting, what we're asking for is what is being, is what is landing on earth. It is what's coming to earth. And I don't know how much all of you followed the astronauts of Artemis 2, but they connected into that consciousness when they were traveling in space around the moon. They connected into 5D, and they are forever changed, and they are forever linked to each other. They upgraded. Wherever they were, they upgraded. And so that's what we're all going to be doing as a humanity. So you can call it spiritual awakening. You can call it a return to where we were. It's definitely an energy of a higher dimension. And it's becoming, as it transitions down to Earth, or to Earth, it doesn't have to be down, it's arriving. It's becoming just more and more available here. But regardless of any language, the experience is the same. People are now craving that connection. They feel it. It's almost like your intuition, your discernment feels it before you see it. It's like, very simply put, when someone calls, you know who it is, but also you know they're about to connect. You know they're about to text or they're about to call. You feel that energy arriving. So you are blending yourself with it more naturally. And you are craving the peace that comes with it, craving the connection. And it's not performance, because I'm watching it. When I see people who are posting Bible verses, some of people I feel aligned with, because not all who post Bible verses we would feel aligned with, all of us. But the ones that I am seeing, they're fully living it. They're joyful. They are co-creating, as I do, with Source. And so they post it almost as a joyful celebration. Not anything out of fear, not anything out of unworthiness. They have humility. They're humble, but they're not judging. They aren't being. I remember someone telling me years ago, "You're being preachy," because I had gone, and I am nonviolent, right? So I was, encouraging people in my own language to not turn towards violence, to not celebrate it. The people that I am following are not preachy. They're not phony. They're living it. They're ecstatic. There's such a higher vibration about them. And they've all come from different backgrounds. They've all gone through, life changes, life milestones. And they know that they just feel so grateful they were carried through it. And we're always carried through it, all the time. So they have, as I now have. Again, I did it when I was a little small tyke, but I'm back at it again. A living, breathing relationship with the sacred, with that Source, and with all the representatives, the angels, my spirit guides, Source, which is God, and I call Source God most of the time. Jesus, Mary, Moses, whoever you want to connect with. It's an actual relationship, and now it's about deepening it. It's about moving from whatever belief you inherited into personal knowing. And so, for me personally, I had the foundation of the Catholic faith. Some have had the foundation of what their grandparents taught them or their parents taught them. And now they're making it their own. The personal knowing. Are you doing it as well? You will be in some way, shape, or form. And some are turning towards Buddhism. It's not, again, about a particular, there's no right or wrong. It's what you're drawn to. What increases and deepens your connection with the divine, with that highest energy. We're now moving from a time, the three-dimensional life has separation. We're looking at this old man on a throne in the third dimension, and we're praying, or we're praying to Blessed Mother Mary, or we're praying to Jesus. And there's nothing wrong with that, except we tend to see it, and it's not an exception, even though I use the word accept. You know before, most likely, that you would go outward to them in your prayer. Now we understand that we're all on the same team. That what we're going outward for, we also have within us. That we're all made of the same. And that we can support each other. And our prayer is heard. And it is a yes. And we only have to know it. And believe it. And live it. So today, this topic really explores this shift. This shift that you are having within in some way, and there's no wrong way. No one's got it mastered more or going. If someone's going faster towards this connection, it doesn't mean that they are in a better place than you or that they are more evolved than you. Sometimes those that are going to the stronger connection faster are the light bearers to others. I have mentors, as you have mentors. And sometimes I recently tried to guide people towards a couple of my mentors, and nope. They're like, I don't want your mentor. I probably want you right now. And maybe I want others, and that's okay. That's okay. And so it's actually good to have mentors, by the way. And when I said earlier how I watch, we're all made still of our ego, of our ability to judge, of our ability to be tempted, our ability to be thrown off path. This is a time that we're living in where truth is being revealed about not only all of what we thought before, whether it be our government structures or the people in it or the humanity, but we're finding out who people, who a person is, and sometimes it's surprising. It's like, wow, I didn't know they had that in them. But it's all being unpeeled. And it's a good thing. It is a good thing because you can't have healing take place to bring that higher energy to earth unless the unpeeling takes place to heal. No more lies. No more falsities. But it's not a time to be negative. It's a time of positive and love and connection. It's important to understand that when there is violence happening or people wanting to promote war and having things and just having things. By the way, God doesn't mind anyone being wealthy. He wants all of us to be free with wealth. Because that's how we serve each other. All provision comes from source, from God. All ability to provide for you comes from God, and God provides too. So sometimes God provides through a creative idea rather than the money itself. But all provision comes from that highest creation. And so why would God have an issue with you having money if God's providing it? It's I want all the money. I want to harm to get money. That's that story about the one that I was taught as a child. That was never really taught, but just thrown about, the eye of the needle stuff. I put that. You shouldn't want money in you if you want to get to heaven. It's all right to want to have goods and plenty of money because most of us are good people. And we are going to use it to serve and you shouldn't feel guilty about it. If you become a millionaire tomorrow, and it's in a way that you feel you didn't earn it, don't feel guilty. Now you have the ability to provide more for yourself and others. It is again when we hoard that it turns against us. It's not even again the old man on the throne that's waving the hand at us. We have natural laws set up that respond to us. So again, I like to say it this way, simply, no one gets away with anything. But there's nothing to fear. And heaven also wants us to be fearless, because there's no reason to fear. We have survival mechanism in us. Yes, we should watch our surroundings when we're walking, of course. Lock our doors, of course. But truly, we are being protected, provided for by this highest source. And you've always been provided for. You always have been, even if you didn't like how much providing you've gotten. Just simply ask for more, but then allow yourself to receive it without all the extra feelings. All right? So very important. So we are coming to a time, again, in this higher energy that's coming to Earth, and it's there now, notice it, where people are providing more food for each other. People are saying, take a book out of my bookcase. More help is springing up from each other, because it's naturally within us to do this. It's who we are. And it is the God DNA source within us that is involved in evolving, coming out. Now, some of the reason that some of these more violent, angry, hateful things are happening, and it's a time, again, reiterating, healing, unpeeling. And it has to come out in order to do that. And unfortunately, it may come out in a knife-wielding person, or in a patriarchal system. Not against the guys, if you're listening, not against the guys. But notice who's in the room when we are trying to promote money and war and taking over force. That is trying to stop the 5-dimensional energy from arriving. It's fighting against it. But 5-dimensional energy, as any energy of source, will overflow over it. Positive always is more powerful than negative. And so that union, they'll call it peace at some point, but really it's a surrender to the peace, to the stillness, to the union, to the earth family. And pretty soon, and it's happening now, there will not be an appetite for it. But for right now, we have healing that is still taking place. And so, this healing, this transition into fifth dimension, causes us to seek out that connection. And again, can be through the Bible, through spiritual books. It can be through New Age authors, though it's really old age. Course in Miracles, can be old teachings, can be the agnostic Bible, anywhere you're drawn. And you can read all of it, you can seek all of it. That's part of you evolving into that energy. Well done. That's what's happening. I've been nervous lately, I don't mind sharing. And I had to have my committee meeting with my team. the ones in spirit, the ones in the heavenly realm. When I say I meant the heavenly realm, I go to my guides, or God, or Jesus, Blessed Mother Mary, angels. And I've had a team meeting recently because I don't want any direction I go to leave out anyone. And so I was concerned if I go more Bible-based, do I leave out those who are not quite drawn to that? And so I had to ask. I had to know. And, well, it's the purpose of this podcast topic. No, I'm all right. It's my own inner blocks. My own inner experience with discomfort. The work I do would not be entirely accepted by the church I was raised in. And so I had to deal with that. I had to deal with things as a child, and knowing I was having real experiences, but being told, having nightmares about them not being real, and being told they were not. No, that they were. I remember one priest saying, and he very much would say this today, too, maybe even harsher, that what I was experiencing was superstition. Just to even know angels were around me, to interact with me, to intercede, to bring connection, to help me with superstition. And so that was his belief system. And I allow him to have that belief system. I always say, although as an extra, I hope that belief systems don't harm people. Because I was in a place at 20, 21, 25, where I wasn't harmed anymore by that statement. But as a 12-year-old, I was. And because I felt I didn't belong, there was something wrong with me, that I would get in trouble, that I might not go to heaven, because I was seeing Jesus. And so we don't want to put those beliefs of fear onto others. We want to know where we are, and we want to strengthen as much as we can our connection to our divine, whatever that divine is for us. And so that's where I come from. And so I was back there again. Little Lisa was back there. The inner child. Will I be doing to others what I didn't want done to me, or what happened to me? Or I said this, that I might have the chance of saying or making someone feel more that this is the correct path and your path is not correct. No. Anything that gets you into source is correct, or that connection to source. It can be the connection to the earth, to nature. I know someone who's very faith-based. She's beautiful. She blends the faith of the Bible with earth medicine. Sure. They are connected. The earth, I'm being told, has a soul. It has its own energy. And that energy now is being blended with highest source energy. And the earth goes through its own healing. There's just a eruption of a volcano that I just saw. That's the earth experiencing emotion. Adjustments. Unpeeling. And so, no, it's not just about you and your physical, wonderful body. It's also about the planets, the universe. we are all one with it. We are all connected. So I encourage you to embrace your spirituality in every way, whether it be more spiritual, less spiritual, more of religious. Embrace it. Know there's more than one path. And it's all right. But step toward it. Understand what's happening. Because it's not something happening out there. Out there is responding to what's happening within us. And it is precious and priceless. So go where drawn. And you may go. And you might pick up something, read it, and go, it's not for me. And that's okay. We're all explorers. That's why we're here. So I have this thick War and Peace Bible. And I already opened it up a bit. And I already wanted to skip right to the New Testament. Just my own personal preference. And I will be looking at that here and there and probably sharing some of it on my YouTube channel, Scripture for the Soul. I know I will be, actually. Because I wanted it to inspire me as a teacher, not just as a student. And so, wherever, you do not have to get a War and Peace type Bible. You can or cannot pick up your childhood Bible. You can explore other means of connection, but notice yourself, because this is the time where faith is increasing. Faith-based practices, connection. Maybe it's connection with people who aren't of no faith. That's good too, because it's of faith whether you realize it or not. They're just your people. And so I encourage you to understand it's of the times. It's as the song says, a sign of the times. And so, well done for being here and being a part of it, because you want it to be, and you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, if you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. Please follow me on my Facebook page, because I do post things about what's upcoming on there. It's under Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach and Media. And I'm also on Instagram, which I also will be posting more. I can guarantee that I am not deceiving you or myself. I'm feeling much more comfortable with social media. I am just, my new identity, or my returned identity to who I truly am, is very comfortable with social media now. I'm just still a bit in the old habit of not making time to post. It's like I'm in between old identity and new identity, which is actually a very common thing for all of us to do that. Well, it's a whole other topic, and but we're understanding that we can take on who we truly want to be, our ideal self, how we dress, how much income we have, or how much money finds us, as and health, that we can heal ourselves. So I just spent the other day again, got about 4 pages of who I truly am. But even before that, I was noticing that I am a new person. I have evolved again. I always love to say, and it's very true, if you knew me in 2016, I have some facets, of course, that's the same, but I am a very different person. I react differently to things. Just a different inner self than was there before. And so I have now gone to another level, within my journey. And so that other level is fine with going on Instagram and posting personal things like, this is what I'm doing today, or this is what the teaching I'd like to give to you, and not being so, oh, it has to be perfect, or shyer about it. But old me still is imposing the habits. And the habits is you do that when you have the time. So I'm aware of it. It's like you have a distant awareness of it. Oh, that part of me is still at play. But it's not my hardware anymore. It's just that the older habits are still backing away. So I didn't want to confuse you with all that, but you may notice that with yourself in this life as you evolve. It's like who you were is not who you are, but maybe you still see a little bit of signs of who you were. That's all I'm saying, right? So in a more simply put way, I'll be more on Instagram. And maybe TikTok too. I don't go on TikTok. I really don't a whole lot. But it's a way of service. I have, again, a wonderful, beautiful friend who serves that way. And so I know it's there, and what's there should be used in my thoughts. So stay tuned, as I always like to say. Thank you again. Many blessings to you, to whenever you listen to this. And I will talk to you next time.